Okay. I had the sound level down on the sound desk. Thankfully, it's here next to me. Thank you, Charlie, for your text. Okay, so Numbers 25:14. I'll cover, as I said, in this Torah portion. Checking Charlie's text. Oh, he just said that's better. That's good. Okay, so we've covered in the first part one of the important things, or the things that suggest themselves to me as needing addressing. This idea of Pinchas's zeal and Yehovah entering into covenant with him because of it. So that's something that we see throughout Scripture, even pertaining to us. The other issue that stands out to me is the appointment of Yahushua as leader to actually lead the second generation into the land. And there's a whole lot of stuff that happens in Joshua's life, which is really interesting stuff. So I just briefly want to kind of walk through Joshua's life, a little bit of the book of Joshua. So this part, as I said before, is going to be a very short part. It's just some information about the tribes. The census has been taken. Them being told you've got to divide the land up, the inheritance by lot, and then the daughters of Zelophehad, and we see a bit of Yehovah's justices, his mishpatim, in that. So Numbers 25:14 says, the name of the Israelite woman who was killed with the Midianite woman, the Israelite who was killed, was Zimri, son of Salu, a leader of our father's house among the Shemonites. Okay, and of course, Cosbi, the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Ser. He was head of the people of her father's house in Midian. Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, distress the Midianites, and you shall smite them. For they distressed you with their tricks, with which they deceived you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, who was killed in the day of the plague because of Peor. So actually, a lot of the stuff which is mentioned in this Torah portion, we're going to see happen or mentioned again, the bulk of the information about in next week's Torah portion. So this idea of distress the Midianites, to go to war with the Midianites, we'll see that next week. The idea of the inheritance being divided up by lot, and we'll also see the daughters of Zelophehad again in next week's Torah portion. Numbers 26:1 says, it came to be after the plague, the Yehovah spoke to Moshe and Eleazar, son of Aharon the priest, saying, take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and above, by their fathers' houses, everyone going out to the army in Israel. So we've got a census being taken. We know that when a census is taken, half shekel of silver has to be paid for the ransom of each soul among the children of Israel. So in order for them to be counted, this half shekel has to be paid. So that is something that will have happened in this census. So Moshe and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, take a census of the people from 20 years old and above, as Yehovah commanded Moshe and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Mitzrayim. So it's the same deal. It's those who are 20 years old and above, those who are going out to the Savah in Israel, the host, the division, or the army. So these are fighting men, and it's the same requirements that we saw with the first generation in Numbers 1 through 4. So in Reuven, the sons of Reuven, of Chanoch, the family of the Chanochi, of Palu, the family of the Palui, of Chetron, the family of the Chetroni, of Carmi, the family of the Carmi. There were 43,730 of them. The son of Palu was Eliab. So this is still Reuven. This is talking about Palu, from whom came the Palui. The sons of Eliab, Nemuel, Dathan, and Avram. This Dathan and Avram were the called ones of the congregation who contended against Moshe and against Aharon in the company of Korach when they contended against Yehovah. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korach. When that company died, when the fire consumed 250 men, and they became a sign, but the sons of Korach did not die. The sons of Shimon, according to their families, of Nemuel, the family of the Nemueli, of Yamin, the family of the Yamini, of Yachin, the family of the Yachini, of Zerach, the family of the Zachi, of Shaul, the family of the Shauli, 22,200. The sons of Gad, according to their families, of Zephon, the family of the Zephoni, of Chagi, the family of the Chagi, of Shuni, the family of the Shuni, of Ozni, the family of the Ozni, of Eri, the family of the Eri, of Arod, the family of the Arodi, of Areli, the family of the Areli. 40,500 of the sons of Gad. The sons of Judah, Er and Onan, and Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. We read about that in Genesis 38. The sons of Yehudah, according to their families, of Shelah, the family of the Shelani, of Peretz, the family of the Partzi, of Zerach, the family of the Zachi. The sons of Peretz were Chetron, the family of the Chetroni, of Chamul, the family of the Chamuli, 76,500 of them. Sons of Yisachar, according to their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolai, of Puva, the family of the Puni, of Yashuv, the family of the Yashuvi, of Shimron, the family of the Shimroni, 64,300 from the tribe of Yisachar. Sons of Zebulun, according to their families, of Sered, the family of the Sadi, of Elon, the family of the Eloni, of Yachlael, the family of the Yachlaeli, 60,500 in Zebulun. The sons of Yosef, according to their families, by Manasseh and Ephraim. Of course, the tribe of Yosef is split up into two tribes. The sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machiri, and Machir brought forth Gilad, of Gilad, the family of the Giladi. These are the sons of Gilad. Of Yetzer, the family of the Yetzeri. Of Chilek, the family of the Cheoki. Of Azriel, the family of the Azrieli. Of Shechem, the family of the Shikmi. Of Shemida, the family of the Shemidai. Of Hepher, the family of the Hephri. And Zelophehad, son of Hepher, had no sons but daughters. And the names of the daughters of Zelophehad, Machlah, and Noah, and Chuglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. It's worth noting that Noah is not the same as the male name. Is the feminine ending. Noach would be the guy that we know as Noah. 52,700. And it's because of this census, the information in the census, that the land is actually going to be divided up by lot. So we hear of Zelophehad, that he had only daughters here, and that will become relevant when the daughters of Zelophehad come forward to claim the inheritance of Zelophehad. The sons of Ephraim, according to their families, of Shuthelach, the family of the Shuthalchi, of Becher, the family of the Bachri, of Tachan, the family of the Tachani, the sons of Shutelah, of Iran, the family of the Irani, and there were 32,500 of these sons of Ephraim. The sons of Binyamin, according to their families, of Bela, the family of the Bali, of Ashbaal, the family of the Ashbaali, of Achiram, the family of the Achirami, of Shufam, the family of the Shufami, of Chufam, the family of the Chufami. The sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the family of the Ardi. Of Naaman, the family of the Naami. So we get a nice little insight here into what Israel looked like by the time it had come to the second generation, as they're about to enter into the land. And there were 45,600 of them. The sons of Dan, according to their families, of Shucham, the family of the Shuchami, 64,400 in the sons of Dan. So although there's only this one family, there's approximately twice as many as there were in Ephraim. The sons of Asher, according to their families, of Yimnah, the family of the Yimnah, of Yishvi, the family of the Yishvi, of Beriah, the family of the Berii, the sons of Beriah, Chever, the family of the Chevri, of Malkiel, the family of the Malkieli, the name of the daughter of Asher was Serach, and there were 53,400 from Asher. These are the ones, the registered ones, so 20 years old and above, males who went out to the army of the children of Israel, 601,730, so slightly less than the 603,000 that there were of the first generation. Numbers 26:52 says, And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, The land is to be divided to these as an inheritance according to the number of names. To the large one you give a larger inheritance, and to the small one you give a smaller inheritance. Each shall be given its inheritance according to their registered ones. But the land is divided by lot. They inherit according to the names, the tribes of their fathers. So this was all the males 20 years old and above, and that was in 12 tribes. The house of Joseph, the tribe of Joseph, being divided into 2 tribes. Whenever the tribes are counted in Scripture, there is always shown to be 12 tribes, even though there are actually, in reality, 13. The tribe that was not counted here were the Levites. Okay, this census was to find those going out to the army, first of all, which would not include the Levites, but it was also so that the land could be divided, the inheritance could be given to these various tribes. And of course, the Levites have no inheritance. Their inheritance is Yehovah, the text says in some places, and their inheritance is the fact that the Levites have the priesthood through the sons of Aaron. These are the registered ones of the Levi, the Levites or the Levites, according to their families, of Gershon, the family of the Gershoni, of Kahath, the family of the Kohathi, of Merari, the family of the Merari, and Gershon and Merari were responsible for carrying the actual tent itself. The Kohathi were the ones who carried all of the holy that was found therein. These are the families of the Levi, the family of the Livni, the family of the Chevroni, the family of the Machli, the family of the Mushi, the family of the Korchi, and Kahath brought forth Amram. Okay, and Amram is a person who should be familiar to us. The name of Amram's wife was Yocheved, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Mitzrayim. And to Amram she bore Aharon and Moshe and their sister Miriam. Okay, so this shows us, and as we've seen before, just how close the first generation were to those sons of Yaakov. Yocheved was the daughter of Levi. And to Aharon were born Nadav and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. And Nadav and Abihu died when they brought strange fire before Yehovah. And the registered ones were 23,000, every male from Chodesh old and above, for they were not registered among the other children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. Also because they didn't go out to the army, much like when they were counted in the first generation. These are the ones registered by Moshe and Eleazar the priest, who registered the sons of Israel in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. But among these there was not a man of those registered by Moshe and Aharon the priest, when they registered the sons of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. In other words, the first generation were the people who were registered in the wilderness of Sinai. And among these people who were counted here, there was not a man who was counted in the wilderness of Sinai, except Joshua and Caleb. For Yehovah had said of them, they shall certainly die in the wilderness, and not a man of them was left, except Caleb son of Yepunah and Yahoshua son of Nun. Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, son of Hepher, son of Gilad, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, from the families of Manasseh, son of Joseph. These were the names of his daughters: Machlah, Noah, Chuglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moshe, and before Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders, and all the congregation by the door of the tent of meeting, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, yet he was not in the company of those who were met together against Yehovah, in company with Korach, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be removed from among his family, because he had no son? Give us a possession among the brothers of our fathers. Moshe then brought their case before Yehovah, and here we'll see Yehovah giving us his mishpat, his justice in this case. Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak what is right. You should certainly give them a possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, When a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. So there's the order of inheritance. First of all, it's passed to a daughter, then to his brothers, and then to his father's brothers. If his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the nearest relative in his family, and he shall possess it. The inheritance is something that Yehovah treats as precious. It shall be to the children of Israel for chukat mishpat, as Yehovah commanded Moshe. So it's a chukat, it's a law, but it's a law of mishpat. And Yehovah said to Moshe, Go up into this Mount Abarim, See the land that I've given to the children of Israel, and when you've seen it, you shall also be gathered to your people as Aaron, your brother, was gathered, because you rebelled against my mouth in the wilderness of sin, in the strife of the congregation to set me apart at the waters before their eyes. These were the waters of Meribah at Kadesh in the wilderness of sin. So this is obviously, if Moshe is now told you're going to die, first thing it appears, the first thing that's recorded that Moshe says, first thing on his mind is, who is going to replace me? Moshe spoke to Yehovah, saying, let Yehovah, the Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation, who goes out before them and comes in before them, who leads them out and brings them in, so that the congregation of Yehovah be not like sheep without a shepherd. So this is Moshe's concern in this situation. And the appointment of the man that we know to be the one whom led the children of Israel into the land is something that we'll look at in the third part. That's pretty much all that the Torah portion covers, apart from Numbers 28 and 29. But what is covered in Numbers 28 and 29 is the korbanot that are to be offered on each one of the appointed times. I've taught on that recently in respect to what our spiritual sacrifices on those appointed times look like. It was in Torah portion Achrei Mot, and it's in the third part. What you'll notice here in the description is now we have timestamps for when the parts start. This is something that Jeffrey started to do. He started to send me these timestamps. So maybe within the week after the Torah portion is up, the description should contain these timestamps. So if you're going back and looking at recent Torah portions, you should be able to find the timestamps for the different parts in the description. Now, it's worth mentioning at this point, just while we do a bit of housekeeping, that it's come to my attention recently that perhaps emails are not getting through to me. Some emails are, but I've noticed, one, that the amount of emails has gone down, and also in two particular cases, I've not received emails. Now, Jeff was trying to email me, and I couldn't receive email from him, but I could send email to him. It was, in fact, his responses to my email which didn't come through. But before that, there's a guy called Jordan and his wife Raquel, who had asked, does JP still use the same email? I had emailed Jordan, that never got through to him, and he had emailed me a whole load of times, and they never came through to me. Now, I tried to email his wife, Raquel. She didn't receive that email, and any emails that she sent to me weren't getting through either. And having come from a background in IT, I cannot possibly conceive of what could be happening there. But if people want to get in touch with me, don't use the light in the dark email anymore, because it seems unreliable. And if people have been sending emails, you've not received a reply, if I get an email, I will reply to it. It might take a little while. If I'm sat at the computer, I might reply straight away. If not, it might take a little while for me to get through the list of emails, but you will get a reply. So if you've sent an email and you've not gotten a reply, it's because I've not gotten the email. So I would say to use the email address thewaybiblicalfellowship@gmail.com, and those emails should get through to me. So anyone who specifically wants to send an email. Also, I don't use Facebook anymore. I deleted the Facebook app off my phone, deleted the Messenger app off my phone. The one time that I'll go on Facebook is to post the teachings, and that's actually usually Ashley that does it on Shabbat on the Ways page and on my personal page, but I don't actually use Facebook. So again, if people want to get in touch with me, send an email to the Way Biblical Fellowship at gmail.com. It is possible that I will see that I've gotten a message on Shabbat, but it's not guaranteed. Also, I don't get notifications to my personal Facebook account about messages, likes, comments, shares, any of those things on the Way Biblical Fellowship's page. Again, I don't know why. I used to get them, but I don't get them anymore. So if you've gotten a reply off the Facebook page, that's because I've specifically gone to the Facebook page and looked at the messages for something else, and I've seen your message and have replied to it. It was when I was going through last week when I was looking at the Torah portion post from a previous week, I could see that there were comments on it. And I scrolled back through those posts and I could see that people fairly commonly commented on them. So if you've not received a reply on your comment or a like on your comment or whatever, it's because I don't actually get notifications for it. It would require me to manually go to Facebook. I don't use Facebook anymore. So the long and short of it is, if you want a response to something, send it to the Way Biblical Fellowship at gmail.com. Okay, so I'll wrap this part up. We'll come back and we'll look at the book of Joshua. I think the important bit of information that I could give you about the korbanot that were offered on each one of the appointed times is when these korbanot were offered, and to tell you that when an offering was made, every single one of the offerings made atonement for the children of Israel, so that Yahovah could continue to dwell in the midst of the children of Israel. So it's interesting if we take note of the times, the actual appointed times when these things were offered, because it kind of gives us a broader understanding of when atonement was made. We think Passover, perhaps Yom Kippur, we think that's when atonement was made, but it actually wasn't. Atonement was continually being made for Yahovah to be able to dwell in the midst of the children of Israel. So atonement was made for the children of Israel on these occasions, morning and evening, each Sabbath, at the beginning of each Chodesh, on each of the 7 days of unleavened bread, including first fruits. It's not specified, on first fruits you shall do this, but first fruits is always one of the 7 days of unleavened bread, and the offerings have to be made on each of them. On Shavuot, on the day of trumpets, on Yom Kippur, and on each day of Sukkot, each of the 7 days, and also on the day that is known as the 8th day. So consistently throughout the year, atonement is made on all of these appointed times, and in the morning and in the evening on every day. So we will come back in the third part. I would suggest let's make it 5:15 here. So 45 minutes on from all those times. We'll come back and we'll look at Joshua being appointed as leader by Yahovah. We'll find out a bit of interesting information about who Joshua is, where he's come from, and what happens during Joshua's life, and the influence that he has on Israel as their leader. Quite interesting stuff. We'll come back then.